everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new Will I Buy It. I post my Will I Buy It series every single Wednesday, chatting over new makeup releases, my thoughts on them, if I'm planning to pick them up or pass over them. I'll have my playlist linked down below, as well as the community playlist where a bunch of different creators who make this style of new makeup releases video can add their videos to the playlist if you want to catch more of these. But I do have a lot to chat about this week, so why don't we go ahead and get started. So I've kind of briefly touched on the Villains collection from ColourPop in a past video. We kind of have like a sneak peek of just the eyeshadow palette that was coming out, but we do have the full collection now. It's on sale. It's on the ColourPop website. There's also a few of these sets plus the eyeshadow palette on the Ulta Beauty website. So of course I'll have everything linked down below. I will also have the Trend Mood 1 Instagram linked because I do read from her page and also share some of the photos, so I do always have her in my description box. But we've seen the full collection out, like I was saying, and I have been going back and forth trying to decide if I need anything from this collection. I've seen a couple like first impression style videos of the collection. I've seen some swatches of the collection as well, and I have found myself 2 different times on the Ulta Beauty website like, okay, do I need the eyeshadow palette? Do I want to pick up one of the sets? And I just couldn't decide. And then I went over to the ColourPop page because you can purchase the items separately through the actual ColourPop website. And I've been trying to decide, and I'm like, okay, girlfriend, seriously, like if you're having such a hard time deciding if you should buy something, not like what I should buy, I'm between 2 different lipstick shades, you know, something like that. I'm like, if you're just trying to decide if you should purchase something and it's this difficult of a decision for you, you probably shouldn't, because you probably don't need it. I think that I kind of got caught up in like, it's ColourPop, it's affordable, it's Disney, which is super cute. The Villains, I'm really happy that they did the Villains collection. I think it totally makes sense. They did the princesses a while ago. I really enjoyed that they did the Villains collection, but I'm like, nothing is drawing me enough that I was like, ooh, right when the collection comes out, I really want to grab it. Or, you know, this set's coming to Ulta, I'm gonna grab it right away. I've been sitting here like, oh, I bet that I would. Like, I was trying to talk myself into buying makeup, and I've said in a lot of Will I Buy It videos, I really try not to talk myself into wanting to purchase makeup because there's always so many new releases going on and other items that are going to catch my attention more. So finally this morning, when I was once again on the Ulta website looking at things, I was like, okay, put the kibosh on it. Like, you're not gonna get anything from the Villains collection. It's okay. I'm more Disney princess than I am Disney villain anyways, so it's all right. And again, even after watching like the review videos and swatch videos, there was nothing that I was like, oh, I really need that right now. So it's like, girl, move on. You don't need anything. But I'd love to know if you picked up anything from the ColourPop Villains collection. Got some tags on new releases from Pat McGrath. So she is coming out with new eyeshadows. These are the Eyedols, like E-Y-E dolls. Very, very fun. I like that. These sound super interesting. The photos look really pretty of this. I mean, I think Pat McGrath typically has like very catchy packaging. There's going to be 17 different shades in here, the matte, metallic, and shimmer finishes, and these are $25 each. I don't buy a lot of single shadows. I just don't buy those a ton anymore for my personal collection and what I normally go for. So I'm gonna pass over these, you know, 25 for one shade. I've done it before. Most recently I purchased the like Marc Jacobs Paparazzi like single glitter shadow thing, and that was in the $20 range, and I like it and I think it's really pretty, but I just don't reach for it a ton, and I'm like, girl, you have to take that out. You spent a lot of money on that, like, use it. But just with my makeup preferences and, you know, what I tend to go for day to day, I just don't reach for the singles a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass over these from Pat McGrath. I don't usually wear like darker lip colors, so sometimes when I'm looking up in the viewfinder, I clearly tried to go like very monochromatic today with like this purple look, but the lipstick, I'm kind of like, wow, I don't usually wear these dark colors. I'm like, who dat? Who that girl in the viewfinder, you know? I've gotten quite a few tags on the new collection from Zoeva Cosmetics. So this is their Melody collection for spring 2019. There's an eyeshadow palette for $26.50. There's a few different glosses for $15.80 each. There's a mirror that's included, or you can buy the full set for $80. The packaging is really beautiful on everything with this like butterfly theme going on through it. The eyeshadow palette does look really pretty. I'm looking at the swatches on Trend Mood, and there's like this beautiful icy blue and this like kind of like purpley lilac shimmer that looks really pretty. But it's, again, I just feel like with so many collections from Zoeva, I tend to think a lot of them are pretty, and I can totally see, you know, so many people getting very excited about these, but they always just kind of like miss it a little bit for me personally. And again, I think the eyeshadow, especially the eyeshadow palette especially, I think is very pretty. Those mattes on the end, like even just the swatches of the mattes, they look really, really nice. But I just don't see myself going into this palette a lot and really creating a lot of different looks with it. And again, that's just, you know, that's just me. So I feel like this is just another one from Zoeva that I think is pretty, but it just doesn't turn my attention enough. So I see some new eyeshadow palettes from Stila Cosmetics, and when I first started to get the tags on these, I really had no idea what brand this was. Like, I took a few guesses in my mind, but it definitely was not Stila Cosmetics. So that's interesting. I feel like when I think of Stila and like eyeshadows, my mind kind of immediately goes to their glitter shadows, you know? I mean, that just is what it is. But they're coming out with these new big eyeshadow palettes. Each one has 12 shades. They're $52 each, and they are limited edition. I can't say I'm really looking at either one. I get super stoked for them. I think the outer packaging is kind of cool looking and everything. And you know, the insides are both pretty, but again, just nothing like that just really jazzed me up that made me do the double take. And they're pretty pricey at $52, and they're limited edition. So that just, both of those factors kind of don't get me very excited either. So I don't know. I mean, one has this really pretty kind of like, it looks like a very orangey, and like you have a purple and a green in there, and the other one kind of has more of like this pink and purple theme going on. But again, I didn't do the double take on it. And again, just as I try not to talk myself into makeup, if I don't do a double take on a product, I don't even need to get into the next round of, you know, do I need this? Do I really want this? Can I live without this? Will I stop breathing if I don't order this right away? You know, the standard makeup questions we ask ourselves when there's new releases. Some tags on some new eyelashes from Huda Beauty. So I used to wear Huda Beauty eyelashes quite a bit. I really don't as much anymore. I can't think of the last time I purchased one from Huda Beauty. I wear House of Lashes a ton right now. I have House of Lashes on my eyes right now. I will have them linked in the description box because I can't think off the top of the head which ones I chose out with, because today was like an extreme lash battle for me. I had 3 different ones at one time, and I was placing them all in my eyes. Like, it's just not right. It's just not right for this look. So I finally ended up with some House of Lashes. So I always link all my makeup in the description box. But Huda Beauty is coming out with a new collaboration. She just did a collaboration recently. This one is going to be with Olivia Culpo, who is, I know her name, I'm trying to think what, I think she's a model, and I think that she was in, like, she was Miss America or Miss USA at one point, I believe too. I know her name, I was just trying to think of exactly what it is that she does as an occupation, you know? But she's very beautiful, and she's doing her collaboration with Huda Beauty. So this includes the Olivia lashes in Shorty. It says for a more natural look. It's kind of like the shorter version of the Samantha lashes. And these are going to be $19. So again, like I said, I just don't purchase from Huda Beauty her lashes as much anymore. I just have other lash brands that I kind of keep going back to. I noticed that these are $19, and I think they're either usually $20 or $25 depending on which collection you get in these. So I'm kind of actually surprised to see the $19. Maybe that's what all the collaborations are going to be. I can't remember the other collab price off the top of my head, but I mean, that's not like a terrible price or anything. But I really do like my Samantha lashes, and I like the length of them. I'm not a fan of shorter lashes, and that's actually, it's funny because one of the lashes I pulled out today, they were just a little bit more on the shorter side, and I really like length when it comes to my false lashes. So I don't think that I would get on with these a ton, but I like the packaging on them and everything, and I used to buy the Huda lashes quite a bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip over those. We have some new releases from Morphe Cosmetics. These are lip trios. So it says these trios of fan favorite lippies were curated by their director of global artistry, which is Lipstick Nick, to create the perfect nude lip. There's 3 different sets. Each one has a lipstick, a gloss, and a lip pencil. And these are going to be $16 each, or a $21 value. So this is something that I just don't think that I need, you know. Good idea. I like that we have like the different sets that are supposed to, you know, kind of suit the different skin tones more, or just like your preferences in general. Which kind of nude is it that you prefer? I've definitely been getting more into lip liners and also lip glosses lately, but I have quite the large lipstick collection. So when I saw this, it was just kind of a release that I was like, oh, you know, I don't need that. I can move on from it. But did you grab anything from the new Morphe Lip Trios collection? I definitely got a whole bunch of tags on the new palette from BH Cosmetics. So it says, who's ready for festival season? They are coming out with their Color Festival collection, which does include an eyeshadow palette. There are 20 different shades. There's matte, satin, and shimmer finishes. It is going to be $18, or the regular price of $20. There's also a brush set that will be $24, or then the regular price is $27. A lot of times when BH comes out with releases, they have a lower price, like an introductory price, and then they raise the price, you know, by a few dollars. This palette is definitely super fun to look at. You know, we are entering the festival season. A bunch of, you know, I browse like clothing sites every day. There's a bunch of like Coachella inspired outfits going out there right now. So this is definitely, you know, perfect timing wise. I believe BH had a festival palette, kind of like a colorful palette, come out last year too. So this one is super, super pretty. But again, I just don't feel like it really is calling my attention. It's so funny. As I was getting ready to film this video, I was actually trying to pre-film a little bit because I had to take Monday this week off because we closed our new home. So we were out of town, you know, doing all that stuff. So I could have filmed on Friday, and sometimes if I need to film early, I'll film the Will I Buy It on Friday versus Monday. But I was looking through and I didn't see a whole lot of releases, just kind of in general. I figured it would be a shorter video, which, you know, definitely isn't a bad thing. But there were so many releases that I was just like, no, 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 no. And I was like, I don't know, that might be kind of a boring video. I was like, just wait, you know, you can save it until Tuesday, it'll be fine. So I just pre-filmed like a get ready with me that will go up on Friday answering assumptions about me. And I was like, I'll wait till, so it's now Tuesday that I'm filming this, and I still kind of feel that vibe, which is not a bad thing. You know, if there is even 1 week where no new releases catch my attention, that is not a bad thing, because there's, you know, like I said, there's always so much makeup, there's so much going on. So if there's a week where I don't feel like parting with my hard-earned money, that's not a bad thing. But I'm like, gosh, I hope this video is not like too boring, because I don't know, there's just not a lot that's calling to me and calling to like my personal makeup preferences, and that's kind of the biggest thing. I think a lot of people are gonna really like this palette from BH. It's nice and affordable, very colorful. The swatches look super pretty, you know, totally on point for, you know, what's, you know, the festival season and all of that. So I think a lot of people are really going to like it. It's just not a palette that I feel like I need in my collection, so I can go ahead and pass over that one also. And then we have some new, a new melt stack coming from Melt Cosmetics. It says this is called the Melt Shapeshift. That includes 4 different shades. So it's supposed to be kind of like a duochrome type of melt stack that's coming out from Melt Cosmetics. It's going to be available on March 29th at noon PST on the website. Okay, so the swatches look very cool of this one. I haven't purchased any of the melt stacks yet. They just seem to get a little bit pricey, and I just don't see myself reaching for them a ton, like in my, you know, my own collection, again, my own personal preferences and all that. The stack definitely looks very fun, and again, the swatches look super cool, but I just don't think that I would go into this one a lot, and especially for Melt being a bit on the higher price side, this is not a release that excites me. But I was looking through the comments and a lot of people seemed pretty pumped about this one. I think a lot of Melt Cosmetics products, they sell out very, very quickly, which is, you know, great for them and everything, but kind of like I see a lot of people kind of complaining of how fast things sell out. And I don't know if this one says, it doesn't say that it's limited edition, so I know sometimes they have limited edition items also, so I don't know if this one will be or not, but you'll have to let us know if you're really excited to see that one. But again, I just kind of, my eyes just kind of glossed over it, to be honest. We have now seen the eyeshadow palette. We have another item from BH. Do I have no color? No, I did talk about ColourPop. Woohoo! I thought I didn't talk about ColourPop for a second. We opened with ColourPop, girl, you safe. Okay. But we have another release from BH Cosmetics. So we knew that they were going to team up with It's My RayRay again for another collab. And now we have seen the inside of the eyeshadow palette. We knew it was going to be something colorful also. But this has matte and jewel tone shimmers. It's going to be $17.50 and available on March 27th, which should be today. Yep, as this video is going up. So we've seen the inside of the palette now, and it definitely is super, super beautiful. Some of these like the really rich kind of jewel tones, that blue and that green and purple, those are very beautiful. The yellow, the swatches look absolutely amazing. And again, it is more on like the colorful palette side, which I just don't really bulk up my makeup collection with a lot of colorful palettes, rainbow palettes, etc., because it's not what I reach for a ton. I definitely have those type of colors in my collection. I did just purchase the Riviera palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have a video testing that one out here on YouTube. I can link it down below if you'd be interested in it. And that was a fairly colorful palette, and it just kind of grabbed my attention right away. And you know, I love the Anastasia eyeshadow palettes, and I was really feeling those vibes for spring, but I don't tend to gravitate towards more colorful palettes, and this one's pretty darn colorful. The Anastasia still had some of those neutral shades in there that, you know, I could kind of get the best of both worlds from that palette, whereas this one is mostly colorful, but again, it's a really great price, and you know, it's the collaboration with It's My RayRay, so if you're a big fan, you know, I could totally see a lot of people really wanting to snap this one up. But I'm gonna go ahead and skip over this one for myself. But what did you think about seeing the inside of this palette? And then I just have one more thing left to talk about, and like the Villains collection, you know, it caught my attention, and you know, I kind of did the double take and was trying to decide if I needed anything. This one was also like pretty much the only thing out of everything I'm talking about this week that I actually did the double take, and you know, I've been trying to decide if I'm going to pick something up, so at least we get to end on a note like that, I guess. But this is from TheBalm. So they're coming out with the Auto Balm collection. It includes 3 different palettes. These are in the shape of license plates, and kind of like the font on them is kind of license plate-ish, which I think is super cute, and I think is different. I don't feel like I've really seen that, so I thought that was pretty fun. These are $26.50 each. So we have the Day to Night. This one has the black primer, 2 matte, and 5 shimmer shadows to use wet or dry. So the last release that TheBalm did were the tea palettes. I think it was like the hot tea and the cold tea, and kind of the big thing about them was they had like the black and white primers in them. So we kind of have like a carryover from that. And then we have Pick Perf, which has the neutral primer, 2 matte, and 5 shimmer shadows. And then we have Girl Powder, and yeah, Girl Powder. These are the blush shades plus a highlighting topper to wear alone or over blush. So again, I think this is really cute. I really like a lot of what TheBalm is doing right now. I just think it's kind of like fun and different, and you know, just a little bit something out of the norm. So I really like the license plate concept on these. For whatever reason, my eyes first went to the blush palette, and I'm like, why? I get so attracted to blush palettes for whatever reason, but I'll buy them and then I never reach for them. I typically go for my single blushes more than I do for palettes, but it's one of those products that whenever a blush palette comes out, not whenever, but you know what I mean, when a blush palette comes out, I'm like, ooh, do I need that? And I try to talk myself out of it, because I'm like, girl, you don't use it enough. But the shades in there do look really pretty, and I feel like each of the 3 blushes I would totally wear, and then the highlight looks really pretty. But I'm gonna try to stay firm and talk myself out of it, because I just have a feeling like I would get it and then I would eventually declutter it, because I'm like, oh, I just reach for my single shadows more. And I would be like, you knew that, so why did you buy that? You know? And then for the eyeshadow palettes, I think that these are really pretty also. I didn't hear a whole ton on the tea palettes. Like I caught a couple videos from a few creators, but I didn't hear a ton of different buzz about them, whether it be good or bad. I don't know, just kind of looking at them and looking at the swatches, do I really need these? You know, since I did do the double take, then we go into asking the next questions of, do I need these? I don't think the price is bad on these, the $26.50. Looks like they come included with mirrors, which I think is awesome also. But I'll be curious, did you guys give the tea palettes, and what did you think about them? Or, you know, having that primer in there, was that like a really big selling point to you, or maybe like not so much? I don't know. I would kind of like to know, and I'm still going to try to do my best to continue to talk myself out of that blush palette. But even looking at like the closer up photo of it, I'm like, but you would use these shades. They all look so pretty. So that's the one out of the collection that calls my attention the most. But what do you think about this one from TheBalm? I really like the collection overall, though I think that it is super cute. But other than that, that is where we are going to end this week's Will I Buy It video. Let me know what you thought down below. Which products are you eyeing? Which are you saying absolutely no to? I of course would love to know. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.